Hello, how are you, my dear students? Today I also give our new topics. Our new chapters is chapter 5. Chapter 5's headline is Food, Nutrition and Digestion. Yes, you know this chapter is also a repeat class, repeat chapter, and it's also a very broad chapter and very important topics for your board exam. Okay, first, what's the topics I also give you? First is explain the necessity of essential elements for plant nutrition. Analyze nutrition deficiency symptoms in plants. So, today the topics is also a plant. Our first topic is plants mineral nutrition. Plants absorb certain elements from the soil, air and water for growth and nutrition. Plants cannot live without these elements. These elements are called nutrition. So, our first line is and first question is what is the plant nutrition? As most nutrients are taken from the soil, they are called mineral nutrition. About 60 inorganic nutritional elements have been identified in plants, but only 60 nutrients out of 60 are essential for the normal growth of plants. These 60 nutrients are collectively called essential elements because they are required for the normal growth, physiological activities and reproduction of all types of plants. So, 60 elements is the another name is essential elements. Deficiency of any of these elements results in deficiency symptoms in plants and causes diseases in them. One element, if, again I repeat, one element cannot be substituted by another element. Of these 60 nutrients, some are consumed in large amounts and other in low amounts by plants. Based on the amount of essential mineral nutrition consumed by plants, nutrients are divided into two groups. First group is macronutrients and second is micronutrients. Students, please see the board. I also draw a flow chart. Essential mineral nutrients. Here I also divided two groups. One is macro and another is micro. Macronutrients, the nutrient elements which are consumed by plants in large quantities. Yes, in large quantities for growth are called macronutrients or macro elements. Plants use 10 macronutrients or macro elements. They are first is nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, calcium, magnesium, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, sulfur and iron. Here I also read this. Another is micronutrients or micro element. The elements which are consumed in very small quantities required for the normal growth of plants are called micronutrients or microelements. Plants use micronutrients. They are zinc, manganese, molybdenum, boron, copper and chlorine. Here our another source or another topics is source and role of nutrients. Everyone see the board. Here I also sum also the first source of nutrients. Plants absorb carbon and oxygen from the atmosphere and hydrogen and oxygen from water. Other elements are absorbed from the soil through roots. These elements are found in the soil in the form of different salts. Plants cannot absorb them as salts directly. They are absorbed in ionic form such as Ca++, Mg++, NH4+, NO3-, K+, etc. These are also source and role of nutrients. Our next topics, it's also very important topics. Here I draw a figure C55, H72, O5 and 4 Mg. Here I also give them 5 molecules. Yes, its another name is chlorophyll or chloroplast. The role of different mineral elements in plant nutrition. Mineral nutrients play a very important role in the normal growth of plants. The role of some macronutrients are mentioned below. First, nitrogen. Here, where I draw the figure C55, A72, O5 and 4 Mg. Have you ever seen the N4? Yes, nitrogen. Nitrogen is an essential element of nucleic acid, proteins and chlorophyll. Do you know what is the nucleic acid? Yes, we also learn about chapter 10. Nitrogen plays a very important role in general growth of plants and increases the amount of water in plant tissues. The formation of chlorophyll is hindered if there is a shortage of nitrogen. If the formation of chlorophyll is hindered, the production of food affected. And if the production of food is interrupted, the release of energy through respiration will be lessened. Second structure is magnesium. Magnesium is an important component of chlorophyll and helps the process of respiration. Third is potassium. Potassium helps in many biological reactions of plants. It also plays an important role in opening and closing stomata. Do you know what is the stomata? I also teach the stomata. Again, potassium helps a plant absorb water. In addition, it helps the development and growth of roots, flowers and fruits. Potassium also controls the growth of plants through cell division. We also learn first is nitrogen, magnesium, potassium. Next, phosphorus. Phosphorus is essential for the development of roots. It is the structural component of DNA, RNA and ATP in living cells. What's the full abbreviation is DNA? Yes, DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid, RNA is ribonucleic acid and ATP, adenosine triphosphate in living cells. So without phosphorus, nutrition of plants is not possible. Phosphorus is also an essential element for the elongation of roots. Last, iron. Iron is the structural component of cytochrome. Yes, cytochrome. We have no any idea about cytochrome, but it also the cytochrome, and so it is required for aerobic respiration. Iron also plays an important role in the formation of chlorophyll. Because of their role in nutrition, chemical fertilizers such as urea for nitrogen, everyone marks this. It's also a question. Urea for nitrogen, murates of potash for potassium, chloride and triple superphosphate for phosphorus are used in cultivating fields for high yields. Micronutrients. Micronutrients are also plays an important role for the normal growth of plants. For instance, first, manganese. Manganese is needed to contract and maintain chloroplasts. Copper. Copper plays an important role in the respiration process. It plays an important role in tomato and sunflower plant for their normal growth. Boron. Boron is required for the active growing regions of plants and it also plays a role in the transportation of sugar. Molybdenum. Molybdenum is essential for the fixation of nitrogen by microorganisms. We also learned chapter 13, rhizobium bacteria. Rhizobium bacteria also fix the nitrogen. Chlorine. Chlorine is necessary for the growth of root and stem of sugar beet. Now listen students, I also explain the role of different mineral elements in plant nutrition. It is also very important topics. Please learn it carefully. Next topic is 5.1.2 Symptoms of nutrient deficiency. In case of the deficiency of any nutrients, symptoms are visible in plants. These symptoms are called deficiency symptoms. By observing these symptoms, we can understand which nutrient is deficient in which plant. Some deficiency symptoms associated with several nutrients are mentioned below. First, again I also help the chloroplast structure. C55, H72, O5 and 4 Mg. First, nitrogen. The formation of chlorophyll is inhibited if the deficiency of nitrogen occurs in a plant. Because of this, green leaves gradually turn yellow, and this also the name is chlorosis. Second structure is phosphorus. Leaves turns purple if a deficiency of phosphorus occurs in stem. Necrotic spots develop in the leaves. Shedding of leaves, flowers and fruits may occur. The growth of plant collapses and the plant becomes stunted. Plants usually display no obvious early symptoms of phosphorus deficiency. By the time a visual deficiency is recognized, it may be too late to take any action. So phosphorus also the very important elements for any plants. Third is potassium. What's the deficiency symptoms? In deficiency of potassium, the tip and the blade of leaf turn yellow and necrotic spots are developed. Interveinal chlorosis occurs. Leaves may wither and look scorched along the leaf margin. The growth of the plant is reduced and apical and lateral buds die. Next structure is calcium. It's also the broad symptoms. The calcium, the normal level of calcium. Again, I also repeat, the normal level of calcium in the systole of the cell is related to the functioning of mitochondria and endoplasmic reticulum. These also the cell organelles. If the level decreases, oxidative phosphorylation in mitochondria as well as the protein tracking process in endoplasmic reticulum is hampered. Young leaves face chlorosis due to deficiency of calcium and the growing apical parts of a plant die. At the time of flowering in plants, stems dry up and the plants wilt. Another structure is magnesium. Chlorophyll is not synthesized if there is a deficiency of magnesium. So the green color gets paler and the rate of photosynthesis is reduced. Chlorosis occurs deeply and rapidly in the middle places of the veins. Next, iron. If there is a deficiency of iron, young leaves fruits turn pale. It also causes yellowing of young leaves starting between the leaf veins and resulting in chlorosis. Next, sulfur. Sulfur not only serves as a structural component of protein, hormones and vitamins, but also maintains the balance of water in cell. Leaves show general chlorosis and reddish and purple spots appear on them. Next is boron. What's the deficiency symptoms of boron? Boron gives strength to a cell by being inside the cell wall. It also regulates various reactions in the metabolism process. Necrosis of meristematic tissue in growing regions occur when there is a deficiency of boron. The growth of young leaves is inhibited and the leaves lose their proper shape. The stem becomes brittle, rupturing their surface. The initiation of floral bud is obstructed. Now, students, please, this structure is the very important topics for your board exam, and where I draw the flow chart essential mineral nutrients. Please everyone learn these topics attentively. Thank you.